Welcome to another episode of Toker Plays. This is Drive Club VR. So, I kind of want to talk about the VR for a moment and just kind of give my impressions of it. So, right now, if I just sit here and hold my head still, you can see the movement of this main beam right here. I'm not sure how noticeable it will be in the video or to you guys. But to me, it's really noticeable. It's like the car and everything, but my head is moving back and forth. The whole entire world and all of that. Or, to put it in relations, it's like my head is moving back and forth, like if I'm bobbing my head. And it does it about an inch either way if it was real world relations. So to me it's like the camera itself is having a hard time focusing. And you know, if you cover up all the sensors, it like loses track and like goes all out of whack like that. So I mean, it is almost like if the camera's not focusing. So I think this issue that I'm experiencing right now can be fixed in a firmware update. But considering that it just came out and they have not actually tested... Oh, that is actually kind of cool. I didn't not notice that in this game before, but... So if I'm like up here where the sunlight interferes with my eyes, I can't see that well, but when I get down here and my eyes have time to adjust, I can actually see a lot better. That is cool. Oh, cool, you can actually... Oh. You know, and I actually like the PSVR and everything that it has to offer. The fact it has the built-in mic, which is what I'm using right now for you guys to hear me. And all of that. That's nice. But the issue with the whole world moving back and forth, which I hope that they can fix in a firmware update for the PSVR, because the PSVR has a separate firmware than everything else, then the system will actually be great, and to me, it'll be worth the money. Right now, with the issue of the moving back and forth, it's not worth the money. And yes, there is a downgrade in graphics. That is just undeniable. I mean, you can obviously see the jaggies up in the telephone wires, and on your end, on the capture end, you don't get the same visual quality as you are in here. So, but it is not a crisp, clear image. It's like a grainy, somewhat blurred image, and you can fix that somewhat by adjusting the headset around on your head. But it's never going to come in 100% clear, and that's just due to the fact that you are looking at a LCD screen through a magnifying glass. Until we get pixel density up to a point where the magnifying glass no longer actually picks up the individual pixels, we're always going to have that screen door, that grainy, that washed out look. And I personally, you know, can live with that. And, you know, this is actually a pretty good VR headset for the visual quality. My only complaint really is the tracking issues with the headset right now. And also with the controller, you know, its light bar that it tracks with does not seem to, or at least with a launch model controller, does not seem to track properly. And if you bend it too far down or hold your controller down wrong with the wrong angle, the camera cannot see your light bar and therefore cannot track. So you have to hold your controller at an angle that, you know, most people might be used to, but if you're a slouch player like me, you hold your controller differently, and I don't know, for me the light bar just never can be picked up properly by the camera unless I hold my controller at a funny angle. Good thing this one isn't one of them. The Move controllers are better at being picked up, But with the camera's limited range and all of that, they needed a wider field view camera with a fixed set focus so it doesn't try to autofocus, because this thing's trying to autofocus. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm caught in an autofocus loop where it just cannot quite focus. And it doesn't matter what the lighting conditions are in my room. I've tried it completely dark, I've tried it completely bright. Right now there's moderate sunlight coming through the window, it's overcast, and there's blinds up, so moderate light. So I don't think it's a light issue. There's some things in the background that could cause reflection issues, that could cause a focusing issue, but I highly doubt that that is actually it, because, you know, when you play at night with the TV off, there should be no reason for that to try to focus back there. Anyways, let's get into this drift competition that I've started, now that I've sat here and talked. But that is really cool. Well, I wonder if that'll change. Or, that looks like it's a plate. Okay, that must be... Okay, that's a plate. That isn't a screen. Now, that could be a little bit better looking, unless that's supposed to be a digital display. I mean, considering how well they do on all this other stuff, I think that it must just be a digital display on the real car. My disembodied hands. Ah, my disembodied hands. Alright. Let's get going. Start the event. The other thing that I do not like is when you get a message or a notification. Oh, crikey. You do not see it when you're in the headset. And it doesn't even display on the screen or anything. You just... Dang it. By the way, I totally suck at drifting. But hey. Alrighty. Say restart. Okay. Let's try this one. Restart. Confirm. I did better. Yeah, it's really about relearning how to race in a video game again. Ah. Come on. No. There we go. I'll take that. Oh, cool. Okay, you can just... my way. Yeah. Lost too much speed in that. Rubbin is racing. Straight up bumper cars. So many people talk about, oh, I can't wait till they get the auto-focusing stuff where, like, when you focus on something in the distance, it'll know it and it'll adjust it to your view and all of that by looking at your pupils. And it pretty much does. Like, while I'm looking down the road, the steering wheel is blurred in my vision. But when I look down at the steering wheel, the road up ahead is blurred in my vision. So I got my full depth perception and full focusing view. I mean, my eyes are adjusting to the different distance in which things are. That's what's nice, just being able to look up in my mirror right quick without it really affecting anything. That is so nice. I will take the downgrade in graphical fidelity for the situational awareness. Especially for racing games, flight simulator games, space combat games. That screwed me. Don't mind me, I'm just going to use you to brake. Wasn't even trying. Look, I made a new score. 43. World's lowest score ever. Dum, dum, dum. Got your spot. Got your spot. I'm in first. Right around the corner here should be the finish line. Dang it! You got totally boned. Because up here's the fiendish line. Oh, 3 laps. Woohoo! I'm saved. Pop goes the weasel. That sounded like a trophy. Oh, and that's the fiendish line. 4th place. Oh, they achieved 1st in the championship, though. Apparently I'm outie here. I won! Dear Mr. Ghost Car, I want to pet you. No, I'm being beaten like a red-headed stepchild. Ooh. Redo. It did the same thing. Anyways, I'm gonna finish the event. Did not get any of those. Anyways. Swan boats. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the broadcast. Oh, that was taking a picture.